Now in my last lecture I talked about permutations. Now I'm going to start talking about combinations. So again, imagine you're visiting a zoo that only has 6 animals, and I ask you to record the first 3 animals that you see. At this zoo we have a tiger, a lion, a monkey, a zebra, a walrus, and a snake, and I want you to record the first 3 things that you see. Now I'm going to take the numbers away so it's not confusing. Now in the first spot, there are 6 different animals you could see. But in the second spot, because you've already seen one of the animals, there are only 5 things you can see. And in the third spot, because you've already written down 2 of the animals, there are only 4 different animals you can see. So if we were to multiply all those things, we would get 120. There are 120 permutations of animals. But now realize if you get something like a tiger, a lion, and a monkey, there's actually 6 different ways of writing those same 3 animals. Now when we're talking about combinations, order doesn't matter. So these 6 entries that we have here, they only count as one thing because it's just the same 3 animals. So what we have is the combinations formula, which is pretty similar to the permutations formula, it's just a little bit different. Still, N stands for the total number of objects you have, and R stands for the total number of objects you're picking. So in this case, we have 6 different objects, which are 6 different animals, and we're picking 3 different animals. So N is 6 and R is 3. So in the equation, whenever there's an N, I put 6, and whenever there's an R, I put 3. Now you see these exclamation marks next to the numbers, and that might be a little bit confusing, but let me show you. That's actually a factorial. When you have a factorial, like factorial 6 for example, you just multiply all the way down until you get to 1. So factorial 6 is 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Like if you had a factorial 4, it would be 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. So now back to the formula, I'm going to plug those things in. So it's just like that. So it's going to simplify down to 720 divided by 36 equals 20. Now if we were doing permutations, we would have gotten 120 permutations. But remember, in this case we don't care about the order. We only care about the 3 animals that go into it. So that means that we're just going to end up with 20 possible combinations of 3 different animals instead of 120 permutations of animals. So that's a combination, in which case the order doesn't matter. And also just remember what a factorial is.